Hey everyone, it's your girl Maddie here, aka Beaver Mosh, and today I'm talking to you about Benighted Desecration from the Netherlands-based Cadaver Shrine, and this comes off of Chaos Records. Now you might notice if you've watched my videos before that this is a bit of a different angle and a different setup. I had a day. Won't go into detail. Had things happen. Don't worry. We will have my old setup back next review. This is a very temporary thing, and I'm sorry that it looks this way. That I'm coming at you from a webcam to what I got. Anyway, talking about this record. This is the first record under the name of this project, but the person behind Cadaver Shrine is no newcomer. This comes from the oh so prolific Mories, and if you look at this person's Metal Archives page, the catalog is absolutely insane. This project goes into a Death Doom territory for sure, but it's a Death Doom that emphasizes this harsh, harrowing environment. It's completely punishing and it's a completely alienating sound. This thing is decaying and full of noise. This is not a melodic Death Doom project, but it's one that feels like death. It's a crushing and abrasive experience, but it's one that is exciting in that, with the noisiness and dedication to monstrosity here, the craftsmanship that Cadaver Shrine displays is super obvious. The reverberation comes out of the gate with these monolithic walls of guitar, and the drums have this cavernous quality to them, and the vocals, they kind of come out with these disgustingly low growls. This track is uncomprehensibly heavy. Each heavy-handed strum of the guitar is felt with this violence and this militance. And you get these faint, kind of dark and ominous leads in the background that help secure this track's utterly hopeless atmosphere. On And Death Crawls, these more hushed, kind of short vocal bursts sound particularly insidious. You get these spirally minor key melodies that kind of fill the space in the back end of the mixing. It kind of buzz in your head in a way that disorients you to what the riffs, the main chunky riffs are doing. It's a nice, confusing puzzle that Cadaver Shrine kind of conjures for a more concentrated listener. Dragged away, you get these mournful, somber tremolos that will be tail-ended with these vicious chugs. It's big and it's truly maddening, and the bass sound here has this kind of off-putting gain on it. It's just really massive and large and grand in the mix. The low end on this project is kind of dangerous. The entire mood of this track, especially with some of the more buzzing, minor key, kind of melodic fill-ins, it comes off with pure nihilism and this unbridled anxiety. On the Black Door, I love these consistently chopping death metal riffs that serve as kind of the track's framework, and these fluttering kind of hazy guitar bits move at a very unorthodox pacing. And these more patient, kind of swelling elements add to the suffocating hostility of this cut. Tongue Speed has a kind of groove to it, but it's a groove that's filtered through the most disgusting and festering filter. It's almost hide itself. It's like the album teases these more conventional, accessible elements, but doesn't actually let you have it. It just kind of dangles it in front of you. This cut, particularly, does get rather slow and depressed. It's almost a funeral doom mentality coming through. But the title track actually speeds things up a bit. You get these nice hammering guitars and these consistently pounding drums. Riffs do this kind of nice shuffle thing in the most warped and corrupted way imaginable. I really enjoy these furiously stabbing riffs on Faceless Abomination, these very sharpened edges to the guitar that also feature these cool, devilish, melodic bits that do add a nice level of mood and feeling to the cut. I'm really intrigued by how this whole thing is layered. It's dizzying. The production style on this album seems to kind of muff everything in this intentional way. Puts the distortion and the harshness up front and throws the nuances in the back. They're there. You can find them, but you have to look for them, and it's a bold way to put this together, but I think it really works for this record. The Shattered Corpse moves the record to its conclusion with this ghastly hum. The intensity here blazes up around you, definitely under the layers of feedback and rot. There's a kind of a more traditional doom structure to this track, and just how the riffs sort of pace along. It's sort of gothic in nature, especially with the melodic layers kind of sitting on top. This track, this final concluding track, I think has the most emphasis on the atmospheric side of Cadaver Shrine's music, and it's a good way to kind of send you off with a memorable impression. Cadaver Shrine came through with an absolutely dreadful listening experience. There are components of melodicism and whatnot, but it's buried beneath this extremely abrasive exterior. This is Death Doom, but it's Death Doom at an extremely gruesome and hammering end. And those are my thoughts. If you enjoyed this review, consider hitting the like button. If you would be so kind to subscribe, it would mean the world to me. Helps get the channel out there. The whole algorithm thing. Leave a comment. I love engaging with those. Tell me what you thought. Just give me any thoughts about metal in general. My Twitter you can follow. Link to that is in the bio of this YouTube channel. One other thing. I'm not going to try to make a big deal out of this, but I did set up I believe it's around Ko-Fi. There are things I want to do with this channel that I want to be able to fund. I'm not going to set up like a Patreon or anything. I don't think I'm big enough, or really, I don't want to expect like a monthly obligation. But if you want it to send $1 my way, I would greatly appreciate it. But under no circumstances should you feel obligated to do that. But it's available if you want to support the show that way. There will be a link to that. Keep it metal. My name is Maddie, aka Beavermosh, signing off.